The cliffs of western Cornwall stand defiant. They face the vast, restless Atlantic Ocean. Waves crash, wind howls. This is a land of raw beauty, a place where the sea meets granite in a timeless battle. Seabirds cry overhead, their calls lost in the roar of the surf. The air tastes of salt and ancient stone. For centuries, this dramatic coastline has guarded secrets hidden deep within the earth. Secrets that drew men to its perilous embrace. It is a place of stark contrasts where the untamed power of nature meets the unyielding spirit of humankind. Cornwall, in the 19th century, was the heart of a global mining empire. Its veins pulsed with tin and copper. These metals were sought after by the world. They fueled industries. They built fortunes. Cornish miners were legendary. Their skills were unmatched. They journeyed far, taking their knowledge across oceans. But their homeland remained here. Here, where the ground was rich. Here, where the work was hardest. The landscape was dotted with engine houses. Their tall chimneys pointed to the sky, like stone fingers. They were monuments to an age of sweat and toil. Levant Mine clung to this wild coast. It was known as the mine under the sea. Its buildings perched precariously. They seemed to challenge the ocean itself. From this spot, men descended into darkness. They chased veins of ore that snaked out beneath the seabed. The mine was a place of awe and fear. It promised riches. It also promised danger. The constant sound of the waves above was a reminder of the thin barrier between the miners and the deep. This proximity to the ocean made Levant unique, a testament to human ambition. The Cornish miner was a special breed. He understood the rock. He knew its moods. He listened to its whispers. He worked in cramped tunnels. The air was thick with dust. Water dripped constantly. The only light came from the flickering flame of his candle. It was a life of incredible hardship. Yet there was a pride in this work, a camaraderie born of shared danger. These men were bound to the earth. They were bound to each other. Their lives were a testament to resilience, facing daily perils with a quiet strength. They knew the risks, but they also knew the rewards, however meager, sustained their families. Levant Mine was a marvel of engineering. Its tunnels stretched far from the shore. They ran deep beneath the ocean floor. Imagine the courage it took to dig where the sea held dominion, to trust the rock above. Men worked with the sound of the waves in their ears. Sometimes they could hear boulders rolling on the seabed. It was a constant, unnerving presence. This audacious feat of extending working so far under the waves was celebrated. Yet, it also amplified every inherent risk of deep mining. The sea was a powerful, unpredictable neighbor. The conditions inside Levant were incredibly harsh. Darkness was absolute, broken only by candlelight. The air was often foul, difficult to breathe. Water seeped through the rock, making everything damp and cold. The tunnels were narrow, twisting. Men moved like moles in an underground labyrinth. They drilled by hand. They blasted with gunpowder. They hauled heavy loads of ore. Every shift was a battle against the earth. And always, there was the thought of the ocean, just a few hundred feet above their heads. The psychological toll was immense, a silent burden carried by each miner. To reach these deep workings, Levant employed a man engine. This was a remarkable invention. It was a long wooden rod, or series of rods. It moved up and down in a shaft. Small platforms were fixed to the rod. Miners would step from one platform to another, or from a platform to a stationary landing in the shaft. It saved them a long, exhausting climb. Ladders were slow and tiring. The man engine was faster. It allowed men to conserve their energy for the hard work at the rock face. It was a symbol of ingenuity, a mechanical solution to a human problem. But the man engine was not without its perils. It was a complex piece of machinery. It operated under immense strain. The miners trusted their lives to its rhythmic movement. A slip, a moment of inattention could be fatal. The shaft was dark. The platforms were small. The constant jolting motion required skill and nerve. The men understood the risks. They used the engine every day. It was a familiar danger, a necessary evil in their daily descent into the Earth's embrace. Yet the thought of its potential failure must have lingered, a shadow in their minds. October 20th, 1919. It began like any other Monday. Miners arrived for their shift. The air was crisp with autumn. They exchanged greetings. They prepared their tools. They gathered at the shaft head. The man engine waited, ready to carry them down into the familiar darkness of Levant. There was no warning, no sense of impending doom, just the ordinary routines of a working day. The men were accustomed to the dangers. They faced them with stoic resolve. But this day would be different. This day would bring a horror they could not imagine. Suddenly, a sound, a terrible, rending crack. It echoed from the depths of the shaft. The top of the man engine rod broke. The immense weight of the machinery and the men upon it plunged downwards. It was a catastrophic failure. The rod, with its precious human cargo, smashed through the platforms below. Wood splintered. Metal shrieked. The earth itself seemed to groan in agony. For those on the engine, there was no escape. Just a terrifying, swift descent into chaos and destruction. The very machine designed to aid them became their tomb. Chaos erupted. Darkness, dust, the screams of the injured and dying. Men were thrown from the collapsing platforms. They fell into the black abyss of the shaft. Others were crushed by the falling debris. The noise was deafening. The fear was absolute. In an instant, a routine descent became a scene of unimaginable terror. Those who survived the initial collapse were trapped, injured, alone in the suffocating darkness. They waited, hoping for rescue, praying for a miracle. The air filled with the cries of pain and the unsettling silence of the fallen. Above ground, the terrible news spread like wildfire. Wives, mothers, children rushed to the mine, their faces etched with dread. A desperate rescue operation began, but the shaft was blocked. The damage was immense. Hope dwindled with each passing hour. The community gathered. They waited. They wept. The silence from the deep was a heavy shroud. The scale of the disaster slowly became clear. Levant Mine, the proud mine under the sea, had claimed its own. The vibrant heart of the community was stilled by an overwhelming grief, a shared wound that would take generations to heal. The human cost of the Levant disaster was devastating. 31 men and boys lost their lives. Families were shattered. Homes were filled with an unbearable sorrow. The community of St. Just was plunged into mourning. Funerals became a daily ritual. The names of the lost were whispered on every corner. Each death was a fresh blow. These were not just miners. They were fathers, sons, husbands, brothers. Their absence left a void that could never be filled. The disaster ripped the heart out of many families, leaving behind widows and orphans to face an uncertain future. The tragedy marked the beginning of the end for Levant as a major employer. The man engine was never repaired. The lower levels of the mine, Those extending furthest under the sea were abandoned. The confidence of the community was shaken. The spirit of the place was broken. While some mining continued for a time, the disaster cast a long shadow. The economic impact was severe. Families struggled. The vibrant lifeblood of the mine slowly ebbed away. It was a turning point, a sad chapter in Cornwall's rich mining history, signaling the decline of an industry that had defined the region. Today, Levant Mine is a World Heritage Site. Its engine houses still stand. They are stark silhouettes against the sky. The restored 1840s beam engine turns occasionally, a ghostly reminder of the power that once drove the mine. Visitors can walk the cliff paths. They can look out over the restless sea. They can try to imagine the lives of the men who worked here. The site is a place of pilgrimage, a place of remembrance. It serves as a powerful testament to the industrial past and the human stories embedded within its stone and metal. The legacy of the Levant Mine disaster endures. It is a haunting reminder of the price of progress, of the dangers faced by those who toiled underground. The names of the 31 men are not forgotten. Their story is told and retold. It serves as a lesson, a tribute to their sacrifice. The wind still whispers around the old engine houses. It carries the echoes of the past, the echoes of the men who dared to mine beneath the ocean's grip. Their memory is etched into the very fabric of Cornwall, a solemn echo in the deep.